Udah. Hi there.
Halo Arum.
Halo. Itu backgroundnya harus pakai yang itu ya?
Halo Arum. Iya, Pak Arum Pandunan. Arum.
Ini gimana ganti backgroundnya? Kenapa aku jadi bingung?
Ganti background
Iya.
di bagian video. Video itu kan ada naik ke atas itu toh.
Oke, alright. Bentar, aku cek. Oke.
Halo, dengar suaraku?
Dengar Pak. Selamat pagi.
Gimana kabarnya?
Udah. Kok kebalik? Sebentar aku balik. Mirror.
Selamat subuh. Enggak, di sini udah kelihatan bagus. Yang kebalik di tempatmu aja.
Benar,
ya?
punyamu sendiri yang kebalik. Tetapi dari sini kelihatan nggak terbalik.
Is it okay now? Udah ya? Oh.
Ya.
Udah.
Ya, udah. Very much okay.
Ini subuh banget, Pak. Ini ya Allah.
Pokoknya bilang selamat subuh.
Ini kurang kerjaan banget ini.
Dingin banget ya?
Oh iya, pengen banget.
Nah,
itu pollingnya gimana ya? Jadi nggak ya pakai? Padahal mau minum. Pollingnya tetap bisa di-insert nggak, Bu Ririn?
Bisa sih. Tapi apa namanya? Gimana Pak Nuk?
Dia aja. Kamu poll.
Klik poll di bawah tuh.
Nggak bisa, karena kan create-nya tetap harus dari host-nya.
Atau kamu kirim pertanyaannya aja ke kami.
Iya, sebenarnya udah ada di slide sih. Ini nih pertanyaannya, aku kirim ya. Ada 4.
Oke.
Ngirimnya kemana nih, Dan?
Lewat chat aja. Atau gini, kami buat kamu sebagai host gimana?
Ya boleh juga,
Hanya untuk
jadi
mengedit.
gampang.
Itu aja ya.
Iya.
Ya, oke. Make host ya.
Buat host aja.
Ya, iseng ganti.
Oke.
Udah, Rum. Udah jadi host dong.
Sorry. Wait.
Apa?
Kok nggak ada pilihannya ya di sini?
Pilihan apa, Rum?
Pilihan create polls.
Sudah kami create itu. Jadi di polls itu harusnya dari depan sih. Coba
Iya,
kamu
harusnya dari depan, dari login.
Coba create polls-nya.
Nggak bisa, dia langsung udah ada Arum's polling. Is the presentation good? That's not the question that I...
Terus editnya ada nggak?
Nggak ada.
Di bagian atas pertanyaan polling itu?
Nggak ada.
Di sebelah kanan polling 1 Arum's polling itu?
Nggak ada. Dia harus dari ini, nggak ada. Dia harus dari login.
Iya, yang buka sih.
Is good, nggak apa-apa Dan, nggak apa-apa Pak, santai.
Lagi mana?
Is good.
Kami buatkan.
Sebenarnya lebih gampang sih. Ya, gimana? Aku kirim ya
Iya,
pertanyaannya
nggak
ya.
apa-apa. Oh, ke Bu Ririn. Hostnya dikembalikan lagi.
Iya, kembalikan. Ambil. Bu Ririn teh yang mana? STBA LIA Yogyakarta. Benar.
Yang STBA LIA Yogyakarta yang di mute itu.
Oh, yang STBA LIA.
Bu Ririn, ini aku share ya. Opsinya sebenarnya cuma yes or no aja. There you go.
Hostnya sekalian, Rom.
Belum.
Belum.
Wow.
Hostnya dikembalikan.
Cara kembaliinnya.
Diklik yang STBA LIA itu, terus ada mute, terus more. Nah, more itu terus meeting host. Make the host.
Closing.
Di participants diklik.
Oke.
Nah, terus di STBA LIA Yogyakarta itu kursornya diarahkan ke situ.
Oke.
Di more.
Make host.
Ya.
Oke. Terus di chat ya.
Kecuali Arum digawe co-host.
Oh ya.
Digawe apa?
Co-host.
Rahasia.
Ini pada di kantor ya?
Iya.
Iya, ini satu ruangan ini.
Oh, pantesan Pak Nuk masih pakai itu. Nanti aku pakai juga loh.
Jangan.
Jangan.
Nggak kelihatan cantik nanti.
Alah, Pak Nuk.
Oh, benar. Aku juga gini kan nggak kelihatan laki atau perempuan. Susu hangat ya itu ya?
Oh, udah iso lah, nggak ada
Coklat hangat.
Maunya segitu, alah. Teh doang. Sedih deh.
Ini Aqua, produk Prancis.
Aqua, iya benar. Padahal kita nggak minum Aqua di sini. Udah belum Bu Ririn? Susah ya?
Apa? Sebentar. Lagi dibikin. Mas.
Sing Pak Anu be.
Oh,
bentar ya, kami ngobrol dulu ya. Ini off the record dulu ya.
Sebentar, sabar. Enggak, baru satu. Bentar ya. Yang kedua ini. Baru dua. Add question. Ya, baru soal ketiga.
Suhunya berapa Rum di situ? Masih mute atau?
Bentar, aku cek ya Pak. Ini banget asli. 7.
Oh, 7.
Feels like-nya 4. Aku pakai jaket dong dan piyama di bawah. Kelihatan kan?
Iya. Ini aku kalau nggak di kantor juga atasnya batik, bawah kolor.
Aku begini mulu Pak kalau di rumah, astaga payah deh. Nggak ada yang tahu kan?
Nggak ada.
Ini
Asalkan
kenapa
kamera nggak diarahkan ke bawah aja.
Ini kenapa partisipannya udah 37 banyak benar? Kan belum mulai.
Partisipannya udah 37. Oh, iya. Itu kan 4 di meeting, yang 32 di apa? Waiting room.
Waiting room. Ah, sih.
Ya. Bentar ya, ada kesulitan.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Suara aku sudah masuk belum? Yakin? Halo, Arom. Kok aku miring ya?
Pollingmu baru dibuatkan ya, Rum? Baru di save. Muter-muter.
Kenapa sih suaranya Mbak Ririn itu ini loh? Balik. Coba ngomong Mbak Ririn.
Good morning.
Rum, coba luncurkan polling, Rum.
Pause.
Lihat di polling. Ya.
Kenapa keluarnya nggak satu-satu? Launch. Aku luncurkan ya. Is it?
Yes.
Yang Bapak lihat ada berapa?
3.
Ada 3.
Kenapa dia keluarnya nggak satu-satu ya? Kenapa keluarnya nggak satu-satu? Ayo.
Oh. Ini.
Ayo.
Aku juga nggak tahu, Rom.
Sebentar. Harusnya dia keluarnya cuma satu gitu.
Satu-satu gitu.
Iya. Kenapa ini jadi banyak ya? It's alright then.
Atau kalau satu-satu berarti nanti ada beberapa file.
Iya, jadi weird ya. Ya udah deh, nggak jadi. Arum pengen di Bandung. Arum pengen di Bandung gelas. Bu Ririn. Aduh, untung jauh. Nggak di Bandung gelas.
Aku Bandung nganu wae, Bandung.
Maaf.
Pak Basikin sudah masuk.
Punya aku.
Selamat pagi, Bapak Ibu.
Selamat pagi, Pak Basikin. Selamat pagi semuanya.
Selamat pagi. Mbak Arum itu alumni Leiden juga? Oh, masih di mute itu, Mbak Arum?
Iya bener Pak, saya masih di Leiden malah ini.
Oh, masih di Leiden, di di dekat apa itu? Bibliotek itu?
Saya di Burhavlan, dekat Sentral.
Oh, di Burhavlan. Oh, saya juga dulu tinggalnya di Burhav itu, Burhav apa ya? Di Burhav deh saya kayaknya tinggalnya.
Iya, jangan-jangan ini kan student
Yang
housing-nya.
student house itu. Ketemu Vincent nggak?
Pak Vincent dulu ini saya, examiner saya.
Oh, dulu supervisor saya dia.
Oke.
Oh, Jerun masih sana nggak, Mbak?
Siapa?
Jerun.
Enggak.
Duluan manajer schoolnya.
Oh, udah enggak kayaknya.
Udah berapa lama di sana? Atau udah menetap di sana?
Hampir, Pak. Ada 7 tahun.
Lama juga ya. Saya tahu dulu tahun 2000-2001.
Oke. Program PhD juga ya, Pak?
Oh, enggak, dulu master.
Oh, master. Iya.
Sekarang jadi udah staff di apa sekarang namanya? ULM apa?
UCL enggak.
Ya. Lagi PhD.
Udah selesai.
Selesai tapi nggak mau pulang. Selamat pagi Bu Ririn.
Selamat pagi Bapak.
Saya nyapanya Mbak Arum dulu karena saya lihat kok dari Leiden.
Ije.
Nostalgia.
Ya.
Nostalgia.
Agustus tahun 2019 saya ke sana loh. Saya sempat ke di depan ruangnya Vincent tapi tutupan kayaknya labnya.
Lab ini ya, lab fonetik ya, karena Pak Vincent udah pensiun dari ini.
Tapi di pintunya masih ditulis Prof Vincent itu?
Iya, dia cuman kayaknya seminggu berapa kali doang datang. Karena dia di luar dan jauh.
Udah sepuh juga ya.
Iya.
Dulu saya namanya masih Holland Institute of Linguistics.
Oke. Iya. Kayaknya ganti nama waktu 2012 apa ya?
Enggak,
2000,
saya di sana udah ganti nama.
Oh, udah ganti nama.
LUM apa itu?
LUCL
Ya,
Central.
LUCL ya.
Iya.
Selamat pagi Pak Agus.
Pagi Pak. Ini sebagai peserta nantinya.
Sharing-sharing saja kok. Makanya di PPT saya juga nanti saya kasih disclaimer.
Oh iya.
Bahwa itu saya berbicara tentang keinginan saya, bukan tentang sebagian hasil riset saya sih, tapi itulah keinginan yang sudah lama sekali tetap terpelihara di benak saya.
Oh iya. Dan bisa bermanfaat untuk banyak orang.
Saya udah berbicara dengan banyak orang sebenarnya. Saya kan kalau di UNI kan sekretaris eksekutifnya Pak Rektor. Jadi kalau nyebut pejabat biasanya saya ngobrol itu terus, tapi kok nggak nyantol ya.
Iya. Dan masih banyak kok Pak yang butuh informasi untuk perbaikan ILT-nya dalam keseharian.
Nah, dan ini kayaknya sebagian besar mahasiswa ya.
Kemungkinan Pak itu.
67. Itu mahasiswa S1 pendidikan bahasa.
Saya kurang tahu Pak itu.
Bu Ririn mungkin yang tahu.
Ada beberapa peserta mahasiswa, kemudian ada juga pengajar, gitu
ya,
Bapak.
Saya tadi minta dikirimi profilnya dan 67% ya yang mahasiswa, kemudian sekitar berapa ya? 27 atau berapa yang guru?
Iya, betul Pak.
17%. Oh, 11% gurunya.
Iya.
Kemudian lecture-nya yang agak banyak tapi nggak berapa, nggak tahu. Saya minta dikirimi profilnya supaya saya tidak salah addressing-nya, walaupun topiknya sama mungkin berbeda kalau berbicara dengan ini berarti mahasiswanya calon guru nih Bu nih. Ibu dari Liang Ibu Re.
Iya, STBA LIA Yogyakarta Bapak. Betul, ya. Sebagian memang tertarik untuk melanjutkan ke arah pengajaran. Mbak Arum Perwitasari juga salah satu lulusan STBA, lulusan kebanggaan STBA LIA Yogyakarta.
Iya. Dan ditarik suruh pulang. Lulusan kebanggaan Pak, kok malah nggak mau pulangnya gimana?
Sebenarnya sudah lama ditarik-tarik, tapi sepertinya masih betah, Pak.
Bukan, magnetnya kurang besar.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nanti kita siapkan magnet yang super mega besar Pak.
Mbak Arum itu alumni STBA LIA tahun berapa?
Tahun berapa ya? 2006.
2006 ya.
Iya.
STBA LIA Yogyakarta, terus S2-nya kita sempat ketemu juga ya Mbak Arum.
Ya.
Dulu S2 di mana? Di Leiden
Gajah Mada.
Di Gajah Mada. Kalau ini di Leiden dulu pakai beasiswa apa?
Leiden, sebenarnya tuh bingung ya, Leiden Dikti, ada Leiden, terus ada dilanjut sama beasiswa Leiden sendiri. Sudah terakhir.
Dulu saya sempat 3 tahun mencari PhD dengan bekal master itu, tapi nggak dapat. Saya pernah ikut Wotro, pernah ikut beasiswanya Leiden, tapi mental semua. Saya dulu student batch pertama.
Oke. Iya.
Sharingnya bakalan seru ini Pak, jadi dari yang alma mater yang sama juga pernah juga di sana. Awesome, will be awesome. Oh ya, untuk introduction nanti, untuk opening nanti, saya akan menggunakan 2 bahasa, bahasa Inggris dan bahasa Indonesia.
Saya malah seringnya pakai bahasa Jawa nih, gitu.
Saya sebenarnya pengennya bahasa Jawa juga, Bapak. Inje matur suwun.
Ya. Mohon maaf saya mau menyapa ini Pak, tapi saya nggak tahu namanya, ya tulisannya STBA LIA Yogyakarta.
Oh, ini monggo Bapak. Mereka Pak Nugraha Krisdianta. Nanti sebagai moderator.
Saya Pak Nugraha Pak. Nanti moderator. Maaf tadi baru ke belakang, Pak.
Kalau ke belakang itu biasanya dimatikan video, dimatikan mikrofon. Kalau saya nggak mau nerima mahasiswa seperti itu. Saya bilang, Anda itu sama saja dengan bolos era milenial.
Bolos era milenial.
Tapi sekarang diakali, Pak. Pakai video itu.
Tapi kan kelihatan itu gelang-gelengnya sama itu.
Iya.
PJ, ini ada salam dari Bapak Agus Darwanto. Tidak bisa hadir secara langsung. Namun nanti untuk welcoming speech-nya nanti sudah disiapkan oleh beliau. Salam untuk Bapak Basikin, juga Mbak Arum, dan Bapak Ibu semuanya peserta webinar pada hari ini.
Iya, makasih. Salam kembali.
Terima kasih.
Sedang ada tugas luar.
Betul, Pak. Ya.
Tapi sehat kan?
Halo?
Pak Agus sehat?
Alhamdulillah, berkat doa Bapak-Bapak dan Ibu-Ibu sehat semuanya.
Sudah ditunggu nih tertutupnya. Ujian tertutupnya udah ditunggu.
Baik, sekaligus juga menyapa Bapak-Bapak dan Ibu-Ibu, serta rekan-rekan mahasiswa, calon-calon pendidik yang berbahagia. Semoga sehat sejahtera semuanya. Selamat pagi dan salam hangat dari STBA LIA Yogyakarta.
Selamat pagi.
Selamat pagi.
Baik.
Pagi, Bu.
We're going to start in a few more minutes. Sambil menyapa juga Bapak-Bapak, Ibu-Ibu yang ada di sini, Pak Agus Sulistyo, Ibu Marita.
Pagi.
Halo, Ibu Riri. Nice to meet you
Halo.
again.
Nice to meet you too.
Yes.
Serta semuanya yang sudah hadir, mohon maaf apabila tidak bisa disebutkan satu persatu. Hopefully, the sharing for today will be awesome and interesting since we have already listened to some chat and also small talks between Pak Basikin and also Mbak Arum, also Pak Agus Sulistyo. This is going to be very, very interesting today, I'm sure. Baik, Bapak-Bapak, Ibu-Ibu, semuanya peserta, honorable speakers juga, Pak Nugraha Kristianta. Saat ini waktu menunjukkan pukul 10.00. Marilah kita akan segera mulai untuk acara International Webinar Series kali ini. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Warmest greeting from STBA LIA Yogyakarta. Selamat pagi Bapak-Bapak, Ibu-Ibu, rekan mahasiswa, serta peserta webinar yang berbahagia. Salam hangat dari STBA LIA Yogyakarta. Welcome to the International Webinar Series. This is the first series, Teacher Development in Digital EFL Learning, presented by STBA LIA Yogyakarta. First of all, we would like to express our warm welcome to the honorable speakers and participants. I'd like to share the rundown of the international webinar today. The first is the opening. The second will be the welcoming speech from the Director of STBA LIA Yogyakarta, Dr. Andes Agus Darwanto, MA, and marking as officially opening the webinar. The third is the presentation from our honorable speakers. The first will be Bapak Basikin SPD, MPhil, MED, PhD dari Universitas Negeri Yogyakarta, Miss Singling in English Teacher Education and Professional Development in Indonesia, Becoming Millennial Teacher. And the second speaker will be Arum Perwitasari, SS, MA, PhD from Leiden University Center for Linguistics, presenting English testing in digital era. And then the next will be the question and answer and closing and announcement. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Andes Agus Darwanto MA will give the welcoming speech and open the international webinar series.
Ini bahasa Indonesia apa ya Bu? Tapi ya educated librarian. Pustakawan yang nempel atau gimana ya? Pustakawan yang
Dear participants.
Languages are extremely happy to have you all in this series of international webinar. Today, language learning is no longer running in a single mode or single learning ecology. New unbundled learning environments are real, especially with the technological advancement today. And this, according to several scholars, requires radical changes in both education policies and practice, including teaching techniques and learning strategies. Digital and navigation skills are now indispensable for successful learning and teaching. The series of this webinar will try to dig up every piece of information regarding what, how, and especially where learning takes place in the new learning environments. Scholars like Siemens and Brown suggest that today learning also takes place in all kinds of organizational nodes, including human and non-human nodes, and among machines themselves. In this regard, let us share and learn through the network that we have already built. This webinar is attended by at least 250 distinguished participants that can learn and share their precious information and experience. Remember that we segregate our learning experiences in other people's experience. So learn and share. I thank you very much. Happy webinar and adios. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, the welcoming speech and the officially opening from Bapak Dr. Andes Agus Darwanto, MA, for the webinar series today. Let's give us the big applause. Thank you very much to Bapak Dr. Andes Agus Darwanto, MA. And ladies and gentlemen, let us move to our main agenda today. Time will be given to our honorable speakers and Bapak Nugraha Kristianta, SPDM Home, will be the moderator. Bapak Nugraha Kristianta, time is yours.
Okay, thank you, Buririn, for the time given to me. Without further ado, let me read the curriculum vitae of each presenters. Today we have two presenters. The first is Pak Basikin from State University of Yogyakarta, and then the second one is Arum Parwitasari, PhD from Leiden University, Center for Linguistics, the Netherlands. Pak Basikin got some degrees, maybe more than 3 degrees, but let me read the degrees that he pursued. The first is Bachelor in English Education from State University of Yogyakarta in 1998. And then Master of Philosophy in Experimental Phonetics from Leiden University in the Netherlands in 2001. Then Master of Education by Research from Monash University in 2008. And the last one, his PhD in Education from Monash University in 2016. And then our second speaker, Ibu Arum Perwitasari, PhD, got her Bachelor of Arts in English and Education from STBA LIA Yogyakarta in 2006. And then Master of Arts in Linguistics from Gajah Mada University in 2012. And then the last degree, doctoral degree in Linguistics from Leiden University, Center for Linguistics, the Netherlands. The major is English as a second or foreign language, phonetics, and psycholinguistics. Right now, I give the time, the floor to Pak Basikin. Pak Basikin, you have 30 minutes to deliver your presentation.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Your floor is yours, Pak Basikin.
Okay. Thank you very much, Pak Nugraha. Dear audiences, good morning.
Good morning.
Well, first of all, I'd like to thank to STBA LIA for inviting me to speak in this webinar series. Today I'm going to talk about one thing that I believe it is important, but many people probably don't. And I would like to start sharing my PowerPoint presentation. Can everyone see my screen?
Yes, Bapak.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
You sound like my students. Okay. First of all, I try to recognize my audiences. I got the data from who I forgot the name. From the Ibu that contact me. That about 66% of the audiences today are students, and I don't know how many students teachers among them, and 17% of the audiences are teachers, and about 15% are lecturers. And I would like to adjust my presentation, the content of my presentation according to the audiences. So probably most of the content will be addressing the students. Okay, the title is Missing Links in the Teacher Professional Development in Indonesia and Becoming Millennial Teachers. First of all, I'd like to talk about why the title is Missing Links. This is because I've been working with teachers since 2002. I started working with teachers when I attended training called the Contextual Teaching and Learning in Malang. Actually, my initial interest is in linguistics, so that is why my first master's is in experimental phonetics. Experimental phonetics is a very sophisticated and very interesting field to learn. But when I went back to Indonesia, I have been a lecturer in UND when I graduated from Leiden University. When I went back from Leiden and I started teaching in UND again, I found disappointment to a certain extent, because I felt that I was not supported. I studied experimental phonetics. I studied how to manipulate human speech sounds. I studied how to create a reading machine, phonetics-based door locks, etc. But when I went back to UNY, I was not supported. There was no laboratory supporting my expertise, etc. And another even bigger disappointment is the responses of the linguistic community at the time. Once I presented in a forum, and then when I was in Leiden, I studied generative linguistics, Chomsky, and we were seeking for universal grammar. And then in one linguistic forums, I presented a topic based on generative linguistics, and I was reviewed. I was rebutted from different angle. So people are talking about, people are looking at my presentation from different angle, and it's a big disappointment, academic disappointment. And then starting from that time in 2001 and 2002, I started looking at myself. So where was I work, and then where was I working, and then I realized that probably it's good for me to work with teachers, because I'm working in university preparing teachers. And then starting from that, I started working with teachers in 2002. At the time, it was the preparation of the curriculum berbasis kompetensi, KBK, which was the initial draft of the curriculum 2006. And I worked intensively with teachers. I went everywhere talking to teachers. I went everywhere giving training to teachers. And I just realized that the problems that faced by teachers hardly changed. It's about how to make a lesson plan, how to choose good teaching method, etc. And teachers have been profession that have always been criticized by the society. No matter how hard they work, they have almost never satisfied the expectation of the society. And from this, I started thinking that there should be something wrong with the teacher education in Indonesia. And my initial answers is when I read journal articles written by Christopher Jok, and Christopher Jok happened to be from Netherlands too, and he worked intensively related to centralization of education in Indonesia. One finding by Jok said that teachers in Indonesia is lacked in autonomy. They are not ready to make a decision, and they are not ready to take the responsibility when they are making a decision. So the influence of school principals and supervisors is so overwhelming. And it is not good for teachers. So starting from that, I keep thinking about what can contribute to the teacher development in Indonesia. And when I got when I got scholarship from AGS in 2005, and then I started working about teacher psychology. So my thesis, I did my master's in Australia by research, so full research, 100% research, and I researching teacher motivation regarding their professional development. So why this kind of topic is interesting? Because when teachers go to teacher development, the motivation is normally external. So teachers go to teacher professional development because they got the invitation from the ministry or the office, or they are assigned by the school principals to go to the teacher professional development. And it is the common belief that when the motivation is external, the success will be low. Okay, if that is the case, so the teacher PD program in Indonesia, which involves lots of teachers, will be a waste of money, a waste of energy. So I tried to study the motivation, and I started working with a theory of motivation that I believe fits with the condition of Indonesia. That theory is called the self-determination theory of motivation. Most theory of motivation believes that one behaves because they values the behavior and because they expect something from the behavior. So mostly intrinsic. But self-determination theory of motivation believes that although the initial motivation is external, there could be more intrinsic when there is a process called internalization. And this is my first academic work with teachers, searching for teacher motivation, self-efficacy beliefs, work engagement, well-being, etc. Okay, that's my long introduction. Okay, I'll start with my first slide. Well, why it doesn't work? Can everyone see the changes in my screen? I cannot.
No.
No, sir.
No, sir.
No,
sir.
Oh, okay. It's working now.
No, sir.
Okay. So this is my disclaimer. So what I'm going to talk about today is not a mere result of one single research, but I'm going to talk about something that I have always been working so far. So I have been working from 2002 to 2020. It's almost 20 years working with teachers, and more particularly about teacher psychology. So in the future, I want to witness quality teachers in Indonesia. Those are teachers who are highly competent, highly motivated, highly efficacious, highly autonomous, positively engaged, adaptive, resilient, and IT literate. So those are my dream. And I'm working on that. I don't really care, no matter how big contribution, but I committed to myself that I'm working on that. And my project that I'm working now is developing an instrument to measure Indonesian teachers' autonomy. The measurement, I call the measurement, I name it as Indonesian Teacher Sense of Autonomy Scale. And at the moment, I am working on a project to put these instruments into an instrument that is user-friendly. And I'm working with my people on developing Android-based measurement for the teacher autonomy scale. Okay, so this is so once again, I'm not talking about my single research, but I'm talking about synthesis of my research and what I have been working so far. Okay, so this is questions for teachers to ponder, and also this is questions for student teachers or those who want to be teachers to think about. In your classrooms, are there students who are not engaged or who do not participate or who do not ask or answer questions, or who you think they are not good at English? I always ask this when I'm working with teachers, and their answers are normally yes. So these problems happens every year in every class. So in every class, there are always 2 or 3 students who are not really engaged, who do not really participate and never ask or answer questions, or that the teachers think they are not really good at English. And then the next question is, normally I ask the teachers, so what have you been doing about them? The answers vary pretty much, but most of them just take them for granted and consider that's something natural. Okay, so so this is the major answers of the teachers, and then some of the teachers say that they have already planned actions to solve the problems and then evaluate the action critically and reflect on it. Well, the majority of the teachers do the first one, and only a little number of only few teachers do the second one. And for me, the second group of teachers are those who psychologically live, teachers who are connected pretty well with the profession. But unfortunately, there are only few. Although these problems always happens in the classroom, but not many of teachers set up a plan and then implement it and then evaluate it and then reflect on it. Once I remember I had a research with my students, maybe in 2009, 2010. The name of the project is 3 questions. So the design, let me put it in a simple words. The design is teachers prepare 3 questions for students who are not involved, who are not engaged, or etc. And then the questions are divided into 2. 2 questions are questions that the teacher believes that the students can answer the questions, can answer them. And then 1 question is a question that the teacher believes that the students might be struggling or that may answer incorrectly. But for students, answering 2 questions correctly is great, because they think that they're pretty good in English. So one of the cases students do not really participate, students do not answer questions, is probably because they don't feel that they are capable, that they are competent. So maybe you are familiar with the terms rajin pangkal pandai. I believe all of you have already heard this. But have you ever think about pandai pangkal rajin, particularly for the teachers and lecturers? So pandai pangkal rajin. And to tell you the truth, what is supported by the theory is actually pandai pangkal rajin. Okay, so rajin pangkal pandai is true, but I haven't maybe lots of evidence supporting that. But pandai pangkal rajin is also supported. Self-determination theory of motivation claim that there are 3 psychological needs of human being. The first need is needs for competence. The second need is needs for autonomy. And the third need is needs for relatedness. So the first needs for competence. So everybody needs at least to feel that they are competent. So when they are competent, they will do the activities happily. So for teachers, so starting from now, think about making your students feel that they are competent. Maybe becoming teachers who are generous. Okay, who are generous, because generosity is also one problem among Indonesian teachers. Small rewards are very important for students, especially for young learners. Even very cheap stickers that 10,000 you can get 100 stickers, but when you give it to your students as a reward, that sticker is very very meaningful. Okay, so so why most teachers just take for granted for students about students who are not really engaged? Okay, so this is another concern. So think about that question first, and this is another concern. This is my findings from a research in 2016. The title is Teachers' Intention Regarding Teaching Instructional Innovation. And I used a theory called the theory of planned behavior to frame my research. So if you have time, you can search the theory of planned behavior. Icek Azen. The theory said behavioral intention is predicted by one's attitudes, subjective norms, and perceived behavioral control. Or attitude is one's evaluation about an activity or behavior and how one complies with this evaluation. And then subjective norms, what significant others say about the behavior. What significant others, let's say for teachers, the significant others for teachers could be school principals, could be supervisors, or parents. That's significant others. Others who the teacher considers significant. And then perceived behavioral control. Perceived behavioral control is one belief that he's controlling the outcome. He can control the outcome. And also he believes that there is support available for them. So this is the big theory. This has been a very long time, and this theory has already been implemented in many fields. And my findings is attitude doesn't matter. So my finding, attitude is not significant predictor of behavioral intention among Indonesian teachers. Well, let me give you an illustration. When, say, for example, a pretty senior teacher going to a PD program, and I ask, so what do you think about the genre-based English teaching? And he said, well, I think it's pretty difficult for me, especially because I'm going to retire in a few years in the future. And I think it is tiring because I have to prepare blah, 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 blah. So the attitude is negative. Based on the theory, when one's attitude is negative, they won't intend to do that. But for this particular teacher, when I asked, so are you going to implement a genre-based teaching in your classroom? He said, Yes, I'll try. Why he said yes? Because he perceived no option. He perceived no volitional condition when there are options available. So these two concerns about the question in the classroom and this, believe that teachers, particularly in my sample, are not autonomous. They are not ready to make decision, and they are not ready to take the responsibility when they are making decision. Okay, so what should be done? What should we do with this condition, particularly when we are talking about teacher education and professional development? Okay, now those two examples are among the aspects of teachers or professional life who have rarely been addressed by many, if not most, teacher professional development programs in Indonesia. So teacher psychology is rarely touched. And then when we talk about teacher PD program, when we talk about teacher professional development program, we normally talk about upgrading the content knowledge, the pedagogical knowledge, or the pedagogical content knowledge, or the latest one is the technical and pedagogical content knowledge, TPAK. Okay, and then the question is, when do we talk about teacher psychology, such as teacher motivation, teacher aspiration, work engagement, self-efficacy beliefs, teacher well-being, and other psychological aspects of teachers? So those are the big questions that I always ask people in Jakarta about teacher professional development. Okay, now this is one thing that I make a little bit happy regarding teacher. UNJ and USD is Sanada Dharma is now working on piloting a model for PPG Prajabatan. So for those 60% of the audiences who want to be a teacher, so when you want to be a professional teacher in the future, you have to attend 1 year PPG program, Pendidikan Profesi Guru. And let me open. So this is the capaian pembelajaran and curriculum for the PPG. What is interesting now is that actually it's been a long time. The policy has been in the correct track. So this, have a look at this profil lulusan program studi PPG. It said that guru professional. I put it in bahasa because this one is the original slide from Jakarta when they are socializing PPG. So this is the profile of professional teachers in the future. So guru profesional yang menguasai materi ajar, that's okay. Berkarakter dan berkepribadian Indonesia, that's okay. And then this is what is pretty new in the implementation, menginspirasi dan menjadi teladan. But unfortunately, the two words memiliki penampilan memesona, the memiliki penampilan is I believe this is a distraction, because there should be those two words. There should be menginspirasi dan menjadi teladan, memesona. It should be memesona, so charming. So if we translate charming as memiliki penampilan memesona, so probably in the future, there was a restriction on the requirement to be teacher that is bound to be physical. Okay, but when memesona is inner capacity. So you can be memesona when you are self-efficacious, when you are engaged and you can engage your students, when you are highly autonomous, when you are highly competent, that's memesona. But memiliki penampilan memesona is closer to grooming. So if you have expensive outfits, so if you have more money and you can go to salon regularly, just you will have memiliki penampilan memesona.
Can you tell me what is the happy one when you are as accountant?
So, sorry, once again.
I'm sorry, Miss. Can you repeat? Okay. So, what is the happy thing when you are?
When I'm sorry, this is I cannot hear you.
But that's only a noise. Yeah.
Oh, that's not a question for us.
No, not a question.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Right.
I thought it was a question.
No.
Okay, actually, this is what make me happy, because I'm talking about happy, and then the question is what make me happy. So that's really good coincidence. Okay, what make me happy is the inclusion of the words menginspirasi and menjadi teladan and memesona, because that is psychological capacity that teachers should have. Okay. And now I'm happy that this becoming a new implementation, that is the government plan. Well, it is not a new policy, because the policy have been in the Undang-Undang Guru dan Dosen about 12 years ago, or not really 12, maybe 15 years ago. But the implementation is not following that regulation. Okay. So these for 66 participants in this webinar, you have to prepare yourself to be like this if you want to be a professional teachers. So you have to memesona, but don't worry about cosmetics, etc. But you can build your inner charm to become a guru that who is memesona. Okay. Now, this is a critical perspective of teacher professional development in Indonesia. So what is regulated in UU Guru dan Dosen and SN Dikti is ideal and is actually on the track. Problems normally appear in the implementation. For example, a guru yang mesona and how it is translated. Memesona is translated, at least in that slide, is translated as memiliki penampilan yang memesona. Well, I think it should be charming. And another example is well-being and welfare. In UUD, guru profesional harus sejahtera. And sejahtera in the implementation, sejahtera is considered as welfare. So that's why the first thing that the government does is giving teachers tunjangan profesi guru. But I'm afraid that the government forget that sejahtera can also means well-being. So teachers' well-being, teachers' wellness could be welfare and well-being. And well-being to a certain extent is more important, particularly when the workload of teachers are pretty big. Okay, I'm going to go on, and then later on, if there is still time, I'm going to go back to some slide. So this is again the CP. This is important for students participating in this seminar. You need to have a look at this and then read more about this competency. So the teacher's competence used to be 4 competence: the interpersonal competence, and then social competence, pedagogical competence, and professional competence. And it's translated into 3 learning outcome. CP is capaian pembelajaran. So keprofesian or performance, and then merumuskan CP HOTS, etc. So have a look at that when you have time. Okay, now, so this is about the missing link. So once again, I have already talked about this. Teacher professional development program structure is normally consisting of content knowledge, pedagogical knowledge, and pedagogical content knowledge, and technical and pedagogical content knowledge. What is missing then? What I believe to be missing is this: teacher psychology. Teacher psychology is an area of teacher professional development that is rarely discussed in a PD program. And it should be more in the future. So when teachers are psychologically well-being, they will be more creative, they will be more adaptive, there will be more resilience. I think I have the slide of this. Oh, not yet. Okay, they will be more highly efficacious, and more importantly, is there will be more self-regulated. So whatever they do is because of the internal drive. Okay, now this is one aspect that that is important in teacher professional development. This is the theory that I talked about previously. Motivation. So why motivation is important, and why motivation is important is missing? Well, motivation should be observed early before teachers enter the profession. And we UNY Sanada Dharma and Direktorat Guru dan Ketenaga Pendidikan is now formulating a recruitment process that includes screening the motivation of calon guru. Probably you until now probably you know that there are two types of motivation, that is intrinsic and extrinsic motivation. But for me, intrinsic motivation is not enough if we want to be teachers. Okay, what is appropriate? What types of motivation are appropriate for teachers is what so-called altruistic motivation. Altruistic motivation. Altruistic motivation is motivation that is represented by answers when say, for example, one is asked, why do you want to be a teacher? And then the answer is because I want to contribute to the development of the society. Because I want to contribute to the development of the future generation. That is a typical motivation called altruistic motivation. Not only because I like teaching, not only because I am happy when I'm teaching, but there should be the contribution to the society, to the future generation. That is important. So that's why becoming a teacher in countries like Finland, Australia, could be late in the age. Something like when a popular celebrities and then suddenly feel that they need to contribute more to the society, and then they suddenly want to be teachers. And countries like that will accommodate teachers at that age, because to be teachers in Australia, for example, you need only to go to 1 year diploma of education at any age. Okay, 40, 50 willing to be teachers are welcome. And that kind of teachers are teachers that can make difference, because the drive that they want to be teacher is altruistic. Okay, but here motivation. This is particularly fit with the condition of teachers in Indonesia. I said that mostly teachers go to teacher PD program because they are invited by the government or they are assigned by the school. So motivations are actually external, so extrinsic motivation. But this particular theory view extrinsic motivation very positively. So in extrinsic motivation, the regulatory processes could be different. So when introjections are regulation, are self-regulation that is affected by external consequences. So external regulation is when people do something because of external consequences. Maybe why do you want to? Why do you go? Why do you attend this training? Because I will got an incentive, or because if I don't, I will get punishment. So that consequences which are from external, which are outside themselves. And introjected regulation is still about consequences, but the consequences from within themselves. Something like, why do you go to this training? Because I feel bad if I don't. Okay, so that's sanction, that punishment from within themselves. And identified regulation. So for example, why do you want to be a teacher? Because I believe that this training is useful for my students. So for example, so related to the profession, but for external, integrated is with himself, almost the same as identified. So that's why when you want to do researching motivation for PD program for Indonesian teachers, and if you believe that the motivation is intrinsic, so self-determination theory of motivation is a perfect theory to do that. Okay, so what else should be uncovered in a PD program? So PD programs should also include teacher self-efficacy beliefs, the development of self-efficacy beliefs. That is one judgment to control outcome. So this is important now, particularly when we implement zonation in schooling. So my kid tell me that her teachers were not happy because of the zonation. So when she is asked, so what do you think about the result of your teaching this semester, ma'am? And then she said, well, I don't know. The input is so different. Their motivation is so low, etc. That is an expression from low efficacious teachers. But when she's a highly efficacious teacher, so when she's asked, what do you think about the performance of your students at the end of the semester? And then she will probably say, well, I know that the input is not so good, but I believe that I can manage and I can facilitate them learning. So the result will hopefully good. So that's teachers that are highly efficacious. And then locus of control is the same. So the loci of the control should be within oneself. So when we say, so what do you think about the success of your students? Well, I believe that I can make them successful. Okay. And then perceived behavioral control is almost the same, and then engagement and then aspiration. This aspiration is also one aspect of teachers' professional life that is never discussed. When the government design PD program, they rarely ask the teachers what they really need. So program structures are from them. That is also actually a problem. And then well-being is also something that need to be developed among teachers. Okay, why such psychological aspects are important? It's because the challenges faced by teachers, especially future teachers, and then excessive workloads, and then advances in the science and technology and societal demands. This is a quote from the teachers when I did an interview. This is not from Indonesian teachers. So this is a quote, very interesting one, and I keep remembering this one. So in one day, we not only teach, we manage behavior, we plan lessons, we assess learning, we counsel students, carrying out first aid, reply to a long list of emails, write reports, tidy classroom, create resources, mark books, and create displays. The list is endless. So you can imagine, hopefully this is not discouraging people who want to be a teacher. So this is the reality. This is a workload of a teacher. Okay, and about character education. Teacher abroad is pretty easy when talking about character education because their role is only as I forgot the term. Character. I forgot. I completely forgot. A few minutes ago, I still remember this. I forgot, but once I remember, I'll go back to that. But this is the workload of teachers. So why psychological aspects is important to talk about? Because the workload of teachers is huge, even endless, the list. Okay, when attended psychological aspects, when attended psychological aspects make teacher more ready with their millennial professional challenge and duties. So they are more motivated both qualitatively and quantitatively. So maybe when you are talking about motivation, you are only talking about lebih motivasinya lebih tinggi, but motivasinya lebih baik is also important. And then better engaged, and then more highly efficacious, and then more autonomous, and particularly when they face changes, more adaptive. I'm a little bit speed it up. Pak Nugraha, saya punya waktu berapa lama lagi?
Well, actually, it's almost over, Pak.
Okay.
2 more minutes.
How long?
2 more minutes.
2 more minutes. Okay.
Yes.
So this is when attended. When attended, psychological aspects will make teacher more motivated, better engaged, more highly efficacious, more autonomous, particularly when they face changes, and more adaptive, and enjoy more wellness or well-being and happier. So no matter how hard it is, when the psychological aspects of teachers are sound, they will be happier. Okay, and then, this is what millennial teachers are like. So these are the first pictures that come up in Google when I search using the keywords millennial teachers. So millennial teachers check the IG and FB before email during lunch break, gets text alert from the dollar store, has a Starbucks card, color codes her organization bins, etc. But this is not what we are talking about. Millennial teachers should be, what millennial teachers should be or have highly competence. It should be competent with MT. Strong in instructional leadership. So this is also one thing. Teachers are considered lacked in instructional leadership. That's why they are not capable of making decision properly, and they are not ready to take responsibility when they are making decision. What the school principal and the supervisor said is more important than what they are feel to be all right. Okay. Also, teachers will be more autonomous, highly efficacious, reflective, and adaptive. Policy literate. This is also important. Policy literate. Many teachers do not really read something like Permen, government regulation about process standard, content standard, then evaluation standards, etc. They are happier to listen from others rather than reading the regulation. Okay, ask yourself, do you read Permen nomor 26 tentang standar proses, tentang standar isi, tentang KI, NKD, etc. Also, those who are guru and dosen, do you really study undang-undang guru and dosen? So future teachers should read that, policy literate. So why? So that they know the rights and the obligation well. Okay, and then IT literate. This is a must, particularly when in the era of online learning. I think that's all, Pak Nugraha. I think 2 minutes. Well, it's open to question. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much, Pak Basikin. Let's give a very big applause to Pak Basikin. All right, maybe some of you have the questions to Pak Basikin, but I'd like you to keep the question for a while until we enter to the question and answer session. Now we will have the second presentation by Bu Arum Perwitasari. Bu Arum, now floor is yours for 30 minutes. Thank you.
So I'm going to share my screen. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
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 So can you see my screen now?
Yes.
Yes.
Great.
Yes.
So Panuk, so I'm going to have 30 minutes for this, right?
Okay, yes.
So I actually has 60 slides, but I'm going to skip it. Do you want to say something?
Oh.
No?
No.
Okay.
Oh, well, actually, you can have more than 30 minutes, but no more than 40. Because we still have question and answer sessions. Yeah.
Great. So good morning, everyone. I'm going to talk about English testing in the digital era. Thank you so much for STBA LIA for inviting me and for the introduction. And yeah, it's really great to see Pak Basikin and all my teachers and my docents before when I was studying at STBA LIA, and it's really a great pleasure to be here again. So I did graduate from Leiden University for Center for Linguistics almost 2 years ago, actually, for my PhD. And now I'm currently part of ETS Global. If you remember, ETS is actually Educational Testing Service. I believe some of you who are taking, English department no TOEFL test. So it's part of the product that they have, or TOEIC test, or if you have ever studied in the US, you probably know also GRE test. So yeah, I got a pleasure to work with them for almost 4 years now in their office in Amsterdam, and also I'm part of executive committee for the International Association for Teachers of English as a foreign language, which is based in the UK, and also we cover teachers in Europe as well. So yeah, it's really a great pleasure. So I'm going to talk about some other lessons that we learned from the pandemic. We cannot really ignore that because yeah, it's still there and we are still here in our cabin. And also I'm going to talk about some digital transformation that is already done by standardized assessment. In this case, I'm going to explain about ETS and its innovations and enhancements in the assessment world, and also the research behind it, and also some of the current or relatively new product that they have to counter, or let's say to balance this pandemic and also this digital transformation, and also some takeaways. And I also provide resources for you as teachers, young teachers, also gonna be teachers for you and also for your students, and also question and sessions. So before we started, I want to have some pollings. So I need to wake you up a bit. So I need to see the chat here, which I cannot see. So you guys, this is the first question I want to ask you. And I think you can also use the chat box there. Correct, Panuk? Yeah. So yes. I want you to write yes or no, if you're so lazy, you can just put Y or for yes and N for no for this question. Okay, this is the first question. I'll check on the chat. I couldn't see the chat. How could that possible? Or Panuk probably can see. Yeah. So this is the first question. Did you use technology or digital tools in your classroom before the pandemic? So I'll give you 1 second. No. It's 5 seconds to answer this. Did you see some answer, Pak Nuk?
Yeah, mostly say yes.
Great.
But
Okay.
some says no.
Some says no. So, okay. Okay, some says yes, some says no. Okay, let's come to the second question. Do you use technology or digital tools in your classroom during this pandemic? Yes or no? Are there anyone saying no for this question?
Not yet. All say yes.
Almost all say yes.
Yeah, all, not almost all say yes.
Oh, great.
Yes.
Great. Okay.
But say some say sometimes.
Oh, okay. Good to know. And the third question is, did you use technology or digital tools in your assessment when you want to give tests to your students before the pandemic? Yes or no? This is like if you want to test your students. Maybe use papers, or maybe you use computers or emails. So did you see any no's, Pak Nuk?
Many says yes.
Oh, many says yes, but there are some no's. Great.
Yeah, some no's.
And what about during the pandemic? Yes or no? Or everyone says that yes, or everyone says no?
Everyone says yes.
Great. So basically, this pandemic has already, like most us in some way forced. Some people said it's forced. Some people said, yeah, we don't have any choice anymore to teach in the classroom using and assess our students using digital tools or technology. So I'm going to share you a little bit about the research. This is like a joint research center that has been published by the European Commission in 2020. If you think this is not relevant, but this is current because this is published in August this year. So there are 7 actually early lessons from the coronavirus, but I'm just going to highlight 2 parts here. First, the knowledge and initiative linked to AI, artificial intelligence. And the second one is the shift in attitudes towards AI and data sharing. So if you see like AI, artificial intelligence, appeared twice there, somehow relates to technology or digital tools. So during this pandemic, we transform our teaching and learning process into online. Educational applications, platforms, and resources are used, right? Somehow it helps parents, teachers, schools, and also school administrators. So basically from UNESCO saying this year that there are actually some different categorizations of distance learning needs and functionalities. So I can see some of them here. Probably you are familiar with it. And we are using one actually, like collaborative platforms. Here we use Zoom. But there are more than Zoom actually, like some educational applications and platforms for teachers based on different use and functions. Digital learning management system, for example, you can use Edmodo, Google Classroom, or tools for teachers to create digital learning content. You can also use Trello, for example. I'm familiar with that one. Or probably you are using the other one. Or MOOC, massive online course, like edX or FutureLearn, and so on. And also mobile reading application. There are tons of it out there. And yeah, you can also use it for free, and sometimes you have to pay. That really depends on your needs and on your purpose. So, but what about digital transformation in assessment? So while the world has already facing uncertainty, we don't know whether we are going to get out from this pandemic this year. So of course, teaching and learning have been created online accordingly. And also that this makes language assessment providers like ETS should innovate and adopt technologies. Of course, students need to take tests because they want to continue their studies in the US, for example, or abroad. It cannot just stop there because of the pandemic, then they cannot reach their dreams, right? So with its mission, we try to support students and also educational institutions, including higher education across the globe. So let's see what we do actually. So when we create a test, it's not as simple as, I'm just going to create a question and without any research in that. So one of the things that we have to make sure when we create a test, we means teachers, we have to make sure that our test is valid, our test is fair, because it, it measures the thing that we are teaching at schools, right? And it's reliable. So this is what also ETS is doing. So we want to provide the tests which are reliable, fair, and credible. So research is needed in that sense, right? And also we have actually this research website, which you can also follow. We not only provide, the thing about the task, we also provide some information for teachers or the skills that are needed in higher education or in the future workforce. So ETS, I got a chance to visit ETS in 2018 in New Jersey in the US, and it was really like a very big office. But there is one which interests me. This is like a Center for English Language Learning and Assessment, which ELA we call it, at ETS. It was really like so many people are working on language learning and assessment to make sure that the test that we are providing is really like reliable and credible. So the researchers that are working there have a deep understanding of global EFL, including learning, teaching, and assessment. And we also collaborate with psychometricians, people who are also in competence with testings, and statisticians, and also assessment developers. So if you probably remember, probably know, I think some of the TOEFL tests, they are still paper-based, okay? Okay, sorry, can anyone, yeah. But then in 1998, as a pioneer, ETS provide this computer-based, and now it becomes internet-based, which actually you just need to sit down in front of a computer and do the test. I heard because usually my area of outreach is Europe, Middle East, and Africa. But then lately I got some, invitation to also, look at Indonesian and Southeast Asian people. And that apparently this TOEFL IBT test is not really familiar here, which in Europe is basically like we use most of the time. So, so I would love to receive, your, questions regarding this one, which I got previously, but yeah, during this conference, I think it's really great to receive some questions. So the TOEFL IBT means internet-based test. This is like administered online. So you basically just come to the test center and do the test, sit down in front of a computer, and do 4 skills of tests: speaking, listening, reading, and writing. And it's actually available almost all countries. And I think 11,000 universities around the world accepted it. Especially if you want to go to the US or the UK or Australia, then you probably have to. So the test itself, this is just introduction about the test. This is like trying to reflect the current theories of communicative language use in academic context. So if you want to study abroad, of course, the English that you're using should be academic, in academic context. And it should be aligned with the variety of language use. It doesn't matter about the accent, no worry about that. And of course, you have to be very well assessed in all 4 language skills, right? And also it should incorporate technological capabilities, because somehow you have to do that in front of a computer and using internet. And this has been approved as having a positive effect on teaching. So as a test provider, all test providers out there claims that about the design of the test, how the tests are scored and calculated, and how the scores can be used. But then how can we as a test provider or the task creator, be confident that such claims have been properly evaluated. So to ensure that the quality of language tests, of course, we have to do some research and prove our claims. The first one that ETS is doing is actually like to specify the proposed score interpretation and use some detail, and also evaluate whether or not the overall plausibility that we are proposing really relates to the real life and also the score interpretations and uses. These are actually some questions that we need to answer when we create a test. You know, it's probably like it's really funny when teachers like said, "Hey, I'm creating a test." Then when we talk about is it reliable, is it valid, then these questions are missing. You know, they don't even have these questions. So is the content representative of real world language use? Is the content that we are making in our test, you know, measuring the language ability of interest, or is it only like the vocabulary, or what? Or are the test scores consistent across test forms and dates? Or what about the meaningful indicator? How actually our test score shows the language ability of students? And do scores predict performance in real world, or is it only like in one region where the test is created? Or are the scores useful for decision making, or is it only like for tests for progress of students? So these questions that we are using to collect evidence to support the use of the scores. So if you're curious about some book or research that we did, you can also check these books. This is like building a validity argument. So how actually we want to create a test and how to build validity. And also you can check, this is like TOEFL Research Inside. I think the current one we have, it's about launched about the TOEFL research. So there is some actually innovation enhancement that has been done by ETS so far. I am so confident, I'm so grateful that I'm part of it. One of them is a shorter TOEFL IBT test. So this test has actually been shortened since August last year. So it's shortened by 30 minutes. So the rationale behind it is actually we still want to provide accurate information of the students' academic of English language skills. However, this test is also like still measuring the same skills, and it still maintained reliability and score comparability, and it still remained the same test. It's just shortened for half an hour, and it makes students happy, by the way. But then I'm just gonna focus here how actually we are, successfully maintaining the reliability of the test. So we did some studies like how actually the previous test structure, the reliability of it, and then we compare with the new test structure, and then however the total score of the scale is valid, and then it doesn't have a significant difference. The second measurement, the second innovation that we did was actually we assess speaking. So if you remember when we did paper-based, sometimes we didn't have any speaking tests. But now with this new artificial intelligence thing, we are able to do that. So how actually this speaking assessment? So first I want to see how actually we construct the items. The test itself contains of one independent test and integrated test. Integrated test means we combine either reading and listening in the test, and then we give you questions and answer it according to the question, of course, and also the input on the listening and reading. So there is a rationale behind it. If we take a look at in academic environment, when we speak, somehow we need to listen, or somehow we need to read, right? Especially in academic environment, when you are in a classroom environment. So we put that situation in a test and we try to measure it. just to make sure the natural, the natural behavior of test takers are, are implemented, are used in a natural way. That's the item construct. The second one is how we actually rate the training and score it. So if you take a look at this chart, it's actually like a very long chart. So the raters for the test TOEFL that you are taking, especially for the internet-based test, are rated by native speakers of English. So before they are becoming raters, they have to be trained. That's the second part there. They have to join intensive online training, and then they'll receive certification if they pass the test. What's interesting is, and not many people know about it, that they have to pass also daily calibration tests. So for example, I am one of the rater. For example, I'm not a rater, of course. So if I want to score a speaking test, I have to be calibrated before I receive a response of the test, okay? If, for example, I get sick and then I didn't do any scoring, I had to do another calibration test, and then I will get some question, and then how I actually score the sample of the questions. And then if I pass the calibration test, then I will give the real response of the test. So that's how it works. And then also those raters, they are monitored by score readers, and then the scores are given to the statistical expert. This is how actually independent speaking tests look like. So yeah, so they'll give like a little description of a situation, and they'll get an answer. Question. And they have 15 seconds to prepare, and then 45 minutes to respond. This is the example of the integrated test that I was talking about. So there is reading. This is one of example, reading input, or this is or, okay, it doesn't have to be reading and listening. So it's either reading or listening. So they'll listen and they'll get a question or the prompt of the speaking task. They'll get time to prepare for 30 seconds and 60 seconds to answer. So there are some also, we try to prove our claims, right? How the use of speaking scores. So this is like some studies that we did, and how actually this task design and content representative have already shown that this align with English medium institution of higher education. And also this is also laid out a framework of a new test design. So it's a great news. And for teachers also, that provide a support for the content relevance, because teachers doesn't have to give tests in chunks, because that shows the authenticity and educational appropriateness of the test. Some more that the test is meaningful, the test scores, and it predicts the performance in real world and the usefulness of consequences of the test scores. So this is the third innovations that we did. This is also last year, published August 2019. My best score is actually the collection of best scores within 2 years that you collected, or that test takers collected. So yeah, I mentioned it already. So we received some good feedback from universities that they 74% of admissions officers or international officers prefer adding my best score in their admissions process. And then having said, this is also useful for the admissions officer to accept students. Because this best score is actually showing the high level of proficiency as over 2 years rather than only a single day. The logic is that maybe when I did a test in that day, I probably got sick, or probably not feeling well, emotionally. So I didn't get a good test. But using my best score, it collects all the good scores within 2 years that I've been doing. And also it helps widen the pool of qualified applicants. And also it's easy to use it. So this is the example. So I received these questions a lot from German university students. They usually use this test to go abroad, or either to go, we have Erasmus exchange, where they can go to European countries and do exchange program. So they have done the test for 2-3 times, so this is the example, the test date one, they did it for the first time. So they got 76, and they got a very good score at reading and listening for 20, and listening for 22. And then, okay, the score hasn't reached the point that usually the university want. Usually they want 80, okay, for the student exchange program. So that particular student took again another second test and got a good score in speaking and writing. But still, the total score hasn't reached 80. If you could take a look at here and in a test date too. So my best score actually helped them, collecting all the best scores, and then he reached 81 somehow. So that's actually the idea of my best score. So this is how actually the test, the test certificate look like, the score report look like, and then students will get like right away here the single date, the last date that they took, and my best score right away, or automatic way. So are they valid for admission decisions? Of course, we did some external research or studies to prove our validity of the tests. And you can also see it here in that research report. And also we found that only small average difference between my best total score and most recent total score. And also those are actually like with greater differences had lower proficiency levels overall and had on average retested a great numbers of times. All right, that's the third. And now the fourth. The test itself uses artificial intelligence, in scoring, speaking and writing. For the scoring, we use automated scoring technology. We put it in the research report here. If you want to check, we use SpeechRater to score the speaking responses, and E-Rater for the writing responses. So E-Rater, it's been used a couple of years back, I think around 2010, but SpeechRater is rather new, I think around 2017, if I can remember. So let's see how actually SpeechRater works. So as I mentioned, this test, you were doing it in front of computer and the question are coming up in the front of computer, and then you see the question and you speak right away to the computer. So the audio files of your responses will come to speech recognizer, and then it's gonna be put into text as speech recognizer speech to text, and then feature extraction and features and scoring model, and then it comes right away to speaking scores. So don't worry, it's all done by machine. We call it machine scoring. But this is also one other thing that I think it's a plus point. It's even though it's scored by machine, but also we involve raters, human raters, or human scoring. So human raters are actually checking all the responses, and machine scoring is gradually added as automated capabilities measures. Is actually like making our work easier. Yeah. And the other, I couldn't really count anymore. So this is another one, English language varieties. Oh, we received actually some questions about this. So what if we have different language varieties? So is it gonna be like how actually gonna be scored in my speaking, and how am I going to be able to listen with people with different language varieties or language accents? So these are some studies that might be useful for you if you want to check how valid actually English language varieties in TOEFL IBT test. Yes. And how actually we use accents in language tests. So accents, everyone has accents, right? Even the native speakers of English, and we are proud Japanese, people, and we have to be proud with our accents. Japanese English accents, no worry about it. Accents in listening comprehension, for example, it includes the ability to comprehend more than one speech variety, and it somehow can be impacted by speaker accent. The research shows that listeners more easily comprehend speakers with familiar or similar accents. Probably you do agree that American accents. I personally said that American accent. I am familiar with it, but maybe not other accent, or maybe because you are living in the U.S. In the UK, you're just familiar with the British accent. So that really depends. So for test developers, we cannot. What is it? We cannot ignore that somehow. And how do we actually strike a balance, between the theory that people have accents, and how do we measure it? How do we actually put that in place, in our tests? So, as I mentioned before, accents or language varieties can be found in listening and speaking test section. And to ensure the fairness, we make sure that the accents that we are using are from North America, UK, Australia, and New Zealand. But come to the second point, that the accents are mild. And we use this another technology that we are using, an accent strength scale. So we measure the accent, whether the accent is too strong or but we are trying to make it or to use the mild ones. And this is the last one, I think, the latest one because of the pandemic. So this is launched in March, March, and I'm so happy that we launched it because we try to help students and also test takers all over the world. So this is actually the same internet-based test, but because test centers are closed, we are allowing test takers to do the test from their home. So it's basically the same test, the same content and format, the same on-screen experience. They do that with their laptop, and the same features like my best scores and instant scoring, reading and listening, the same price and payment, and the same scoring and score reports, and also the same preparation, materials. The only differences are that it's taken from home, and you use your own laptops or your own computer, and this task is monitored online by a human proctor. I did this test. It was really fun, like somehow it was, I bet because the human proctor is in the US, and then the proctor should do live, which I believe the time difference is really far between the US and the Netherlands. So I can't believe they managed to do it. I think that's really incredible to have the online and live human proctoring us from wherever. So this is ETS commitment to validity, reliability, and security. So even though you can do the test from home, we still make sure that this is still valid, reliable, and secure. So the artificial intelligence technology combined with the live human proctor helps helps to run this test. And of course, we provide multiple best-in-class security measure. We don't want to have any leak or leak test materials. So let's see. So I already mentioning to you some of the innovation enhancements that ETS did before and during the pandemic. Somehow, language assessment language tests should ensure that it's reliability, validity, and credibility. I will not get tired mentioning it because as teachers, you know, these three parts is really important. You don't want to make a test which doesn't really, you know, shows the competence of students or doesn't really valid somehow. So these three parts is really like, I couldn't really highlight it more. So at ETS, these three parts are safeguarded in every possible way. And of course, now with all the current condition and with the enhancement of digital tools, we tried also to make it and offer a holistic approach by creating a smarter, faster, fairer, and more effective language assessment both today and the future. When I was giving a presentation to teachers in Saudi Arabia, so I was asked to, you know, to predict. So what's gonna be language assessment in the future? So that's what I said. So we have to create it smart, fast, and fair, of course, and also effective. And didn't forget the reliability, validity, and credibility. So I think it's really smart to say that English language testing in the digital era should somehow combine the innovations of technology that exist right now and also the emerging technologies. And I'll provide some resources for the teachers. If you would like to check, yeah, probably you can also check it. So we basically help teachers around the world and advisors around the world. So one of the things that I can highlight here is the Propel workshop. We provide Propel for teachers, and that's for free. So far, yeah, again, so far I can only travel to Europe, Middle East, and Africa, but I would be happy also to help teachers in Indonesia and also in South Asia. You know, if they want to know how actually we score, so we provide some rubrics for scoring, and we always have good feedbacks about it. We also have teacher webinars. I think we're going to do that soon in the beginning of the year for the teachers all over the world. And also we provide advisor toolkit. You can also check it online and it's for free. And also we provide some videos for teachers and also the research behind it and how ETS score or how the TOEFL tests are scored. So this is some prep for your students. We receive also these questions a lot from teachers. And yeah, if you want to receive some communications or newsletters about the updates that we are doing about language testing in the digital eras, you can also sign up there. So yeah, thank you so much and stay connected. So this is my Instagram. I want to give you a shout out a bit about my YouTube channel. So I have a YouTube channel, collaborate with a good friend of mine, an ex-colleague of mine who is also studying at STBA LIA Yogyakarta, but she's taking her PhD right now in Auckland. And we provide this for free, of course. You can check it on YouTube. What is it? How actually to teach online, and also we we check some platforms and we reviewed some platforms. So if you want to know more about that, you might want to take a look, and yeah, you can also give comments on it. Thank you so much. That's all, Panuk. Floor is yours.
Okay. Yeah, so, thank you so much, Bu Harum. Yeah. Please give a very big applause to Bu Harum.
Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, now we have a question and answer session. We only have, all right, I will invite 3 questions first. If you don't have any opportunity to ask questions through these, I mean, spoken, you may write your question in chat and we will read your question. And if we have time, we will answer, the speakers will answer your questions. Okay, now I open for the first 3 questions. Okay, there is a question via chat. The question is delivered by Pak Yose Rianugraha SPDMU. He says, my questions go to both speakers. The first question for Mr. Basikin, talking about motivation is actually never-ending issue. Both students and also teachers are required to have high motivation in order to achieve the successful teaching and learning process. Which one do you think, that carries the most determined factors? The teacher motivation or the student motivation? Okay, the second one is from, wait a minute, from Pak Slamet Wiono. The question is delivered to Ibu Arum. Suppose we are to write a true or false test around 20 numbers. What is the best ratio between true and false questions? Okay, those are the questions. Would you please, Pak Basikan, first to answer the question from Pak Yose?
Okay, thank you very much, Pak Yose Nugraha ya. Pak Yose Nugraha or okay?
Yose Rianugraha.
Okay. Well, that's true. That motivation is always a very nice, challenging topic to talk about. And if the question is which is more important, well, I think both teachers and learners' motivation is important. But that is right. Well, because the roles of the teachers, especially in teaching for young learners, both are expected to have high and good quality of motivations. But if I have to choose which one is more important, not really more important, but which one is more significant in terms of the influence in learning, I think teachers' importance is not dominant, but it's very important, because when no matter how motivated the students are in the teaching and learning, when the teachers is not motivated, I don't believe that proper instruction will happen. Okay, this is in terms of proper in instruction, not self-learning, etc. So we believe that teachers' motivation will spread to students. Okay, for me myself, if say for example when I'm teaching and then I'm feel very sleepy, so I can do nothing. I can do anything. And also when my motivation is very low, and then the teaching, I don't really pursue good organization of classroom activities at all. So, but I think the question should be not that, Pak Rianugraha, when we talk about teacher development. So it should be well screening teacher candidates with high motivation is not simple thing to do. But we have to be sure that there is one type of motivation that should be avoided when we talk about recruiting teachers. And unfortunately, that this kind of motivation appears in many teachers in Indonesia. This motivation is what's so-called fallback career. Let's say teachers who have been teaching for 10 years, and then when he or she is asked, do you really want to be a teacher? When the answer is not so positive. Well, to tell you the truth, actually, I don't want to be a teacher. So when you graduated from high school, so what do you actually wanted to do? I want to be a doctor. So why didn't you pursue doctoral profession? Because I was not accepted in the faculty of medicine. Then what is your second choice when we talk about profession? I want to be a researcher in biology. Then why didn't you go to faculty of biology? Because I was not accepted. And then going to pendidikan guru biologi, jurusan pendidikan biologi is the last option. So even after teaching for 10 years, he doesn't really want to be a teacher. So this one is a fallback career because there is no other option to do. Okay, so that the screening, the recruitment test should screen these people from being a teacher, because it is difficult to expect that they will perform well. That's my answer, Pak Yose. Thank you.
Okay, Pak Yose, does it answer your question?
Yes, thank you, Pak Basikin, and also Pak Nugraha. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. All right, now Bu Arum, please.
Was it the first question you mean?
Oh,
no,
okay.
I mean, do I have to answer the first question or second question? Because the first question was also right?
Yeah, the first question.
Okay.
About
student versus teacher motivation. Which one is more important? Correct.
Oh, no. There's another question for you.
Oh, okay, that one, the second one.
I forgot to read
question.
it. Yeah.
Got it. So the question was actually very technical, you know, like saying about the ratio, right? Correct, Panu?
Right, yes. What the ratio?
It's very technical, but I think if I can answer this, it should be 1:1, 1:1 ratio, because this is like because this is not multiple choice ABCD, because this is yes or no question answer, right? So if we remember when we created tests, there are some distractors. So distractors. So if we make a multiple choice, answers, we have to make sure that all the distractors are plausible. Not too easy, not too difficult, not related. So there is something that we need to do. But for the yes, no answers, it's just, you know, like the thing that we need to highlight here is the question itself. So I think if I can answer your question, it's supposed to be 1:1 ratio. I hope that answers.
Okay. Yeah, hopefully. But Selamat Wiono, hopefully it answered your questions. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. There's another question. We have a lot of questions here, so I will try to read one by one. Okay, doesn't matter. I will read for you.
Sorry.
All right. This question goes to Warum. Yeah. As an English teacher, still from Pak Use. As an English teacher, I also prepare my students for TOEFL prep course. Can you share some requirements how to obtain the certificate from ETS so that we can be a certified TOEFL instructor? What courses that we might have to accomplish, and how long will that be? Thank you. And then the second one.
Okay.
From another person.
I will forget it.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Now you may ask your question. And then the next question will be delivered to Pak Basikin. Okay. Not to make you forget the questions. All right. We give you the time.
So bear with me. I'm old. I think I shared it already in my presentation, and that's really a very good question. Somehow teachers don't really know about the service that we provide for, you know, especially for teachers, you know, and I really wish that is gonna bring useful for you, but I can share again my screen here. Sorry, Here, if Bapak, you can see here, Propel workshop here. You can also Google there. In Indonesia, it's not available, but you can email me and ask me about that, and we can arrange it for teachers in Indonesia, especially. So I'm just feel sad because I share a lot to teachers in Europe, in Poland, and I went to Georgia to train teachers there. 150 teachers were there. I went to Saudi Arabia. I don't know, thousands of people, teachers are there, but not in Indonesia. I was just, I'm so glad that if there are some, some teachers, even though now it's even easier, we can do it online. We can have the training. It's supposed to be, if it's face-to-face, it's supposed to be 8 hours, okay? So it's only a day. But now because it's online, we try to divide it into two meetings. Don't worry, I'm not gonna be the one who give presentation or who give the trainings. There are gonna be like our trainers also, and you can get also a certificate from that. So let's say for this distance learning, we provide 2 days. So the latest one that we're going to do is in Poland. But yeah, if we can gather some Indonesian teachers, 5, 8, 10, it's gonna be great. And then you can learn a lot from that. I hope that answers.
Okay, thank you very much. Is this invitation from for all of us, or just for some specific persons?
For everyone, every teacher.
Oh, for everyone. Okay, thank you.
If you think, or even for STBA LIA teachers, if you think you are providing TOEFL training, TOEFL prep, and you think, you think you can use that certificate because you will get a certificate from the ETS. And then you can also share the practice as free practices and stuff, like useful stuff. So yeah, for everyone, basically, for teachers.
Okay, yes. Thank you. We will manage it. All right. Yeah. Thank you very much, Pak Harum. And then the next question to Pak Basikin. This is from Junita Dwi Purwandari, Bu Arum's partner in crime.
Okay. This is from
the question.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in what Pak Basikin have talked about. Professional development is something we need to seriously discuss. And I agree that most of the time, professional development is about upgrading content knowledge, pedagogical knowledge, etc. And really, there's something missing. I'm keen to know what Pak Basikin thinks about, one, the factors that will influence teachers' sense of autonomy, and two, what has gone wrong in our teachers' education until now, and what we can do to fix it. That's the question, Pak.
Okay. Okay. Who is asking this question, Pak Nugraha?
Junita Dwi Purwandari.
Bu Junita, yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Bu Junita, thank you very much for the question. And this is a very interesting question. Teacher autonomy. Well, autonomy is a deeply rooted problem in terms of Indonesian teachers, because it's a long history in the centralized education. So for teachers, what the principals say and what the supervisors say is very, very important, and the influence of principals and supervisors is so overwhelming. When teachers, well, I have actually a slide for teachers. I will show you very quickly. Okay, can you see my slide?
Yes.
Okay.
It is clear.
So, where is it? This. Okay, sorry. So this is teacher autonomy. So this is a result of meta-analysis in the literature review, and also the focus group discussion. So this is the answer of the first question. So what factors contributing to teachers' autonomy? Ooh, sorry. Okay, so factors contributing to teachers' autonomy may derive from the teacher's motivation, and then the adaptability within the teachers, or innovation. Now, why innovation is important? Because you know, changes that ones do will not always reflect innovation. It depends on the drive why teachers change. When teachers change due to compliance, just because they want to comply with the supervisors, or because they want to comply with regulation, so it doesn't guarantee that is actually innovation. Okay, but when teachers change because they choose to change, so well, it's probably 90% innovation. So the adaptability will also affect the teacher autonomy. When teachers is adaptive, highly adaptive, the teacher could be autonomous. And also this one. So the ability in making decision, and maybe the courage or the bravery of taking risk, and the ability to see priority when make priority scaling will also determine teacher autonomy. And then what's wrong? What's wrong with the teacher PD program in Indonesia? Well, I think your question answer your question. Your question answer your question. You said that teacher PD normally in Indonesia only upgrade PK, PCK, TPA, CK, etc. So that is actually the problems. What is missing is the teacher PD program programs do not really touch the psychological aspects of teaching profession and teachers. So that is the problem. So what should we do? So we should promote these psychological aspects of teacher profession in the teacher program. And it is unfortunate, believe it or not many teachers aware that their psychological aspects are problems. Okay, because well, I have been talking about teacher self-efficacy belief, teacher motivation in many conferences, and every time I'm talking in that conferences, not many people attended my session. Normally, well, 10 is very good. Normally 6 or 7, and 3 of them are presenters. Okay, so I'm afraid that teachers themselves do not really realize that they need to pay attention to their psychological aspects. And it is very different when in a conference, the topic is, say, for example, teaching writing. Well, the attendance is full, and even some teachers will stand leaning back to the wall, because there are many people, and actually they have been teaching writing for years, and they still do not know what is a good way to teach writing that fit themselves. Okay, if the psychology is good, so they will search the method of teaching writing that fit themselves, not importing from others. Maybe one strategy is good for someone, but not really works for other people. Okay, thank you.
Okay, all right, thank you, Pak Basikin. I think one more question still available, yeah. But I will read the question, one more question to Pak Basikin, from Ibu Marita Nur Harjanti. Thank you for such an enriching knowledge. Indeed, teachers or lecturers have a great contribution in building students' character. But recently, I found out that many young lecturers seem to only transfer knowledge, not manage the behavior. What do you think about this, Bapak?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Well, maybe there are differences in terms of the perspective of teachers and lecturers. Maybe because lecturers work with more mature students, so maybe some of us believe that character development is not my responsibility, which is quite wrong. Okay. Well, I think teachers and lecturers are almost the same, and this question actually reminds me a thing that I forgot a few minutes ago about characters education. So being teachers and being lecturers in Indonesia is different from being teachers and lecturers abroad in terms of the responsibility in character building, because while teachers abroad, the duty is mostly as moral guard. So they just guard the moral. That what is important for them is that the students behave well. The teachers is doesn't have to be model of the morals. But in Indonesia, besides as a moral guard, teachers and lecturers are also moral model. So when teachers want to teach the students good moral, they also should show good morality. Okay, so I think as more senior lecturers, you can discuss this with your younger lecturers, that apart from being lecturers or educators, that the main duty probably transferring knowledge, they also have the responsibility in terms of character development or character building among the students. I think maybe just ignorance or something that they are still young, so they need a mentor. So talk with them, discuss with them, and most importantly is provide model for them. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Basuki. I think one more question is available again. But this is from Pak Agus Darwanto, delivered to Madam Arum. How would you carry out a virtual speaking classroom assessment that requires live interaction during this learning from home mode? Okay, that's the question. Arum, would you answer? Should I repeat the question?
No, I saw this one. So this, I would say, this actually points out to the speech rater that I am discussing. Correct, Pak Agus? I hope, yes. So if I can say also, share again my screen. Here you go. So I mentioned earlier that actually to score the virtual speaking assessment, we are using speech rater. So all the spoken responses in audio files are sent right away to ETS speech recognizer, speech to text, and they're all becoming text somehow. And also we have the audio, and then these features are extracted. The sound, the phonological feature are there, and then actually there are some algorithm which creates the scoring model, and then with this algorithm, all the audio files and the speech recognizer results are then processed into the speaking scores. That's my answer. Oops, oopsie doop. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much, Bu Arum. And also
that is very technical, but that's in a rough explanation.
Yeah. Okay, I knew that you still have a lot of questions, but unfortunately, we do not have more time to discuss. But believe me, every chat, every question in the chat will be saved, and we will ask this question to Pak Basikin and Bu Arum to get the answers. So if we will try to send the answers from Bu Arum and Pak Basikin to the emails, to your emails, but we will try to make it. Okay, I think that's all from me. And please give a very big applause to our two speakers today.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Bu Arum. Thank you, Pak Basikin. And now I return the floor to Erin.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pak Nugraha Krisdianta. So once again, I also would like to thank our honorable speakers, Bapak Basikin SPD MPhil MED PhD, and Ibu Arum Perwitasari SSMA PhD, for the amazing sharing and discussion. Interesting and fruitful. So once again, let's give our speakers our big applause.
Thanks again.
That's for me, myself. I see Pak Agus Darwanto there.
Have shared it. We truly yes, Pak. Yes. So we truly enjoyed it. Very clear and concise information, mind awakening, inspiring, and enriching knowledge. Well, ladies and gentlemen, honorable speakers, dear students, fellow teachers and lecturers, Mr. Agus Darwanto MA, the Director of STBA LIA Yogyakarta, would like to extend his gratitude especially to the two speakers, Bapak Basikin and also Ibu Arum Perwitasari, and also to all participants and committee. Well, ladies and gentlemen, before we close our event today, I would like to announce that the second series of the international webinar will be held on the third week of December. The theme will be the skill-based teaching technique in the digital session. Please set your video on and get ready for the photo session. First, the third now. The fourth, get ready. The fifth screen. All right, thank you very much. Before I close our event today, I would like to share one quote. Teachers tomorrow belongs to the people who prepare it for today. I am not a teacher, but an awakener. The art of teaching, the art of assisting discovery. Thank you very much. I'm Ririn Sotiarini. Have a nice day and good afternoon.
Cheers, everyone. See you again. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, STBA.
Thank you, STBA.
Second series, yes.
Thank
See you
you.
next
Thanks.
time.
See you next time. See you in the second series.
All right, see you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Pak Basikin. Thank you, Arum.
You're welcome, Pak Agus.
Yes, thank you.
Sibuk
Thank
nih
you very
kayaknya.
much. Ya. Saya tak sowan nanti ya, Pak ya. Ya. One day or one another I'll sowan you ya.
Oke.
Thank you very much.
Makasih Bapak Ibu. Makasih semuanya.
Makasih Pak Basikin.
Terima kasih.
Mohon izin live ya.
Iya Pak.
Izin Bapak.
Goodbye, everyone.